Hello, crafty friends, and welcome back. Today I am playing along with several things: Striptease the Scrapbook Way and May I Scraplift You. And here are the two layouts that I'm scrapbooking. One is from Nicole, and I'm forgetting who the other one is. Shoot, Amanda, I think. I'll let you know for sure. Anyway, I originally pulled out this collection for Designer Deep Dive and was going to make this layout, and I didn't get around to it. So I had it still laying around on my desk, and when I finally got back around to start scrapbooking, this was one of the first collections that I pulled out. So here, the basic design is going to come from Nicole's layout with the strips at the top and the bottom. Let's see, I'm looking for my piece of paper with all my comments to see who the other creator is. It is Amanda. Okay, good. And then later on here, we will get to the inspiration that I pulled from Amanda's layout. So I'm getting the strips there, and so I do use one branding strip up there, the yellow. However, the prompt for this month was to use it as like a hidden object or something like that. And so one of the suggestions was for like hidden journaling or a pull-out pocket or something. So that is how I use another of the branding strips that I had in my stash to for a hidden journaling pocket and some additional pictures that you can see kind of sticking out from the larger 3x3 size or 4x4 size photo. So this was my original idea, that I had this 4x6 cutout and I was gonna put the doily on top and put my title on there, but then the title just didn't really pop too much. So then it ended up being more of a matting piece for the smaller two photos, and I pull out a larger doily and my title does fit on there. Oh, cheers. And so the doilies idea to bring those into this layout came from Amanda's layout, that she used several of them on hers. And I originally did not have doilies pulled out for this layout, so thank you, Amanda, for getting me to use a couple more doilies in some of my projects. So here you can see I am looking at these cards on the back, trying to see which ones I might use for future layouts. So I do have some Thanksgiving pictures to document here eventually, and so I don't have anything specific to Thanksgiving, but there were a couple of the one card said gobble gobble, and I think there's like a turkey design on one, so I tried to cut some of those out and just tried to work strategically to map my photos here. So that's kind of why I'm flipping back and forth to see if I'm clearing some of those items here. So I get that trimmed off. So now both my pictures are matted, and I'm starting to put my strips down, and I just randomly put it down at first and then realized I did want to try and center it versus just putting it on willy-nilly. I wasn't really thinking that evening here. So let's see. So then I flip my page over and put the 3 strips on at the top. And I only put 2 strips at the bottom, and I do the 3 at the top. Because I'm going to put an embellishment cluster in the bottom with my journaling. So that will come here in a little bit. So just kind of placing everything on here again, get some, make sure everything's fitting in. And then I've pulled some of the chipboard pieces that I got in a mystery box a while back. And then I previously had the sticker book for this collection, and I also received most of these 12 by 12 papers in a mystery box as well, probably the same one where I got the chipboard. So I have been able to put those mystery box items to good use so far. And so I'm going to use this card here for my pull-out element. And I decide that I don't want those jars sticking out the top, so I do trim enough out of the bottom. And I didn't tell you what I was doing there when I was making the pocket. I did use those little 1/8 inch foam adhesive strips, and I just created a cavity there behind the largest photo. And so now I'm just trimming my photo up enough to make it fit on this pocket card below the design there. And then the other picture that's on the back, it has the orientation going the other way, but it's hidden. I don't really care. I was really just showing. I took a picture of the trees in our backyard that looked absolutely beautiful, and then like 5 minutes later, it started snowing, these ginormous snowflakes. So that's part of what I add on the journaling hidden behind the picture. And then the rest of the pictures are documenting my mom teaching Hope how to make homemade bread. So they looked up a recipe in one of my super old Better Homes and Gardens cookbooks. And she wanted to make homemade bread to go with the chicken soup that my husband was making that weekend. So Grandma taught Hope how to make bread. So getting my pocket stuck on there and just starting my title here. I do start in the middle, so I make sure that it is centered. And then I start adding some of the little embellishments. I don't think I stick them down yet, but I'm just kind of testing everything out. I did also pull off these three, I think they're probably plus signs because they were in with the numbers on that brown letter sticker sheet. But I decided I would get them onto a layout and just use them as an embellishment. So here's the sticker sheet. I've actually used quite a bit of that, but I do pull out a circle here and I create my cluster on an acetate sheet or like a leftover sticker sheet, and then just pull it off all at once to make sure everything fits how I want it to. And so now here I am working on getting my other pictures onto the layout. And I forget to stick my doily in before I adhered my pictures down, so I just trimmed a little bit of that off. And checking placement here of the chipboard. And I always like to use liquid adhesive on that because the adhesive was pretty much non-existent by the time I got ready to use those. So just want to make sure that they stick good to my layout. And so pulling out a couple more things just to add some layers here by this rolling pin that I want to put under the title. And then I do end up needing to get some foam adhesive to put on this piece because it needs to be high enough for the pocket that I created behind the photo. So there I just added those three little plus signs. And then I pull out my enamel dots, and I had these three pink ones. And so instead of scattering them around my clusters, I decided to use these three large ones at the top, and I'm going to use three large ones at the bottom here, just in a row. I have a tendency to struggle to use the bigger enamel dots, and this was a good way to get those on a layout. So here are the close-up shots. If you have any questions for me, please feel free to leave those down below. I will have links to the playlist as well as links to Nicole and Amanda's channels as well, so go check them out and see what kind of creative things they're doing these days. So thank you for stopping by, and we will see you next time. Bye.